Today I'm here to talk about mental health and activism. I want to share some insights with you that I find really important for us activists out there. If you're a vegan activist, if you're an environmentalist, if you're speaking up for LGBTQIA plus rights, queer rights, same right? If you're speaking up for social rights, Black Lives Matter, whatever it is that you're advocating for, that you're active for, I want to emphasize on the importance of our own mental health. When I went vegan and I started becoming active for humans, planet, health, and environment, and animals, mostly for animals in my case, but all the other aspects were playing a big role in that as well. And so when I started becoming active, I was really motivated. I was like, yeah, let's change the world, let's make everybody know what I know now. Let's save animals, let's save the world. So I went in with this really strong energy. I was like, okay, I understood, I integrated, I applied my values, my newly discovered values to my lifestyle, to my everyday life. And then at some point, I came into a crash because I was advocating with a lot of anger, a lot of drive, and the resistance that I was facing, that we are facing as advocates and activists is big, right? Sometimes we feel like the world is just... it's against us because there's so much stuff in the mainstream realm that is not about making the planet healthy again, that is not about saving animals and humans, that is not about supporting our queer or black or different, whatever kind of different it is, brothers and sisters and stuff, everything between and beyond, whatever you identify as. And so I actually crashed and I stopped doing activism because my mental health didn't allow me to anymore. My mental health was like, yeah, you gotta take a break, boy. You gotta, relax a bit, figure out what's happening on the inside. So I did. So I really looked into how can I get my mental health back on track? How can I get out of this depression? I was feeling depressed over months. I was feeling this really strong, frustrated, angry, down spiral, and I didn't have any motivation. I'd find myself, following addictions and stuff. And at some point I realized that that is just not a sustainable way of changing the world. It's just not how I want to engage in this lifetime. So I had to figure out a way to become healthy in my mind, to really take care of myself in order to step out there again and be active again. And there are a couple of keys that supported me with that. Now, as you may see my content, you may see, oh, he's doing yoga, he's living on an island, he's doing the Bali life, But that wasn't always like that. And even if I wasn't living in this vibe and energy and surroundings that are supporting my mental health, because for me, a lot of sunshine supports my mental health. For me, having access to a beach supports my mental health. Yet, without them, because I was living in Switzerland for a long time, most of my life actually, because I grew up there. And those years in Switzerland, I also had to figure out, how do I take care of my mental health? How do I do that? And so, yes, there are all of these components that help for me, such as yoga, meditation, mindfulness, breath work, movement medicine practice, mindful emotional release practices, emotional intelligence practices and stuff. This may sound all new to you. Don't worry about it. There's possibilities for you. I'll introduce you to in a moment that you can learn more about those. And I really had to look at myself. I really had to look inwards and face a lot of my shit, face a lot of these dark emotions and learn to release them. Face the judgment that I applied in my activism to others, because of course I was judgmental. The same way people were judgmental towards me, the same way my friends were like, you're now an extremist. I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I heard that. I bet you did as well. Leave it in the comments if you can relate. And shifting away from that judgment also made others judge me less. And that felt more smooth. It felt more like I could keep this pace of conversations up. If I would talk to somebody with less or no judgment at all, they wouldn't judge me, and the doors would be a bit more open for us to understand each other. Because of course, you as an activist, you most times understand where people are coming from because you were there. You were a Big Mac eater. I was a worker at McDonald's at the age of 17, and now I'm a vegan, you know? Like, you were there, you understand these things. You maybe were a bully at school. Maybe you were pointing your fingers at the queer people or the ones that were confused in their gender identity or sexual orientation. Maybe you were that shithead that was just judgmental. And now that shifted. You shifted your whole mindset. You shifted your reality. And for them to understand that they can do that as well. That's where you step in as a mentally healthy and aligned activist. Now, in my content, I talk a lot about empowered activism, about new age activism, about emotional intelligence. And what I am talking about when I say these words is that you can really speak into people's heart spaces. You can really start picking them up where they are and making them understand their own values better. Because once they understand their own values better, intrinsically, and they're really like, fuck, in my heart, I wouldn't want to harm an animal. So if I want to live in integrity, and that's the part that you have as an activist, it's not like, look, you can go vegan and it's all solved. Because that's a mountain for them to climb. Maybe for you it was, maybe it wasn't. But for a lot of people, that shit is like far out there, you know, far out there. And so to make them understand how those steps look like, to break those steps down with them, that's the job that we have as empowered, aligned activists, advocates, and change makers. So yeah, activism and mental health, huh? Once you're really healthy in your mind, once you know how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your inner world, how to deal with those emotions of anger, frustration, depression, maybe anxiety, all of that draining shit, because it really drains. It really drains you. And it takes away the energy that you could put into your activism. Now you can surrender to that and say, okay, I'm not going to be an activist, or I'm going to find a really soft and tender way to do activism, which is great. I support that choice. Or you can say, okay, I'm going to look at my energy management. I'm going to take a look at how can I generate my energy in a way that I can step out there, that I have the power and stability within to speak up for the cause, for the bigger matter. Right? These are two choices. If you're here, I'll see you somewhere at some point. And if you're in the choice of you want to create this balance within, you want to look at energy management, and you really want to generate a foundation for you to feel happy, balanced, non-judgmental, free, loving, accepting within, I know that's hard. It's hard to accept people that are eating animals if you're a vegan. You know, I know that shit. I know it, okay? Yet hear me out. When you're there, the way you engage in a conversation makes them feel seen, makes them feel heard, and it makes them feel like they can trust you. And that's the key for you to speak into their heart. For you to access them and to access their behaviors so that they can start changing their behaviors with your guidance, your advice, your piece of wisdom, what worked for you, for example, and they can start becoming the change that they actually want to see in the world, same like you are. So if you're there, sign up to my free workshop coming on the 24th of October. It's a live workshop. I'm hosting it live, and you can be live in it if your time zone and energy allows it. If not, you can sign up anyway, and you receive the replay. The replay will be online for a couple of weeks after the workshop took place. Link to sign up is down here in the bio. Oh, I'm getting a mess with all the, different social media channels. There's a link in bio or show notes for the podcast or whatever it is. It's just down there. Click on the link, sign yourself up. It's a free, beautiful investment you can make into your own mental health and into your ways of being a better activist and being a better advocate for change in this world. I'll see you in there. My name is Fuchs. I'm your health and relationship coach, specialized on working with activists and advocates. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in the workshop. Mwah.